Can you speak a little bit through the audio, Kelly?
Jeff, yeah, there we go.
Okay,
No, I have to stay close to the mic. If I stay back here, I can notice that it has to be right there.
correct.
I can hear you all on my end.
It also, that
Okay, great.
also goes into hearings.
Great.
Hear it through the speaker.
All right, so we will. Is that better? No? Zach, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. So we'll keep this open on this end and we're just waiting for quorum.
Zach, we can hear you pretty well too.
Sounds good.
I don't hear the sound. Can you speak a little bit through the audio, Kelly?
Jeff?
There you go. Yeah,
Yes, how's that? Is that better?
that was the playback.
Oh.
Yeah. We are waiting for Carmen or Yesenia to join via email. So let me.
Via email or via Zoom?
Via Zoom. I'm
Okay.
sending the invitation again.
Get to the mic.
There, ready. Ready.
Okay, good evening. I call this meeting to order Thursday, December 18th. Can I have roll call, please?
Commissioner Carmen Puerta?
Here.
Commissioner Yesenia Leon Tejeda? Don't see her in the Zoom. Commissioner Veronica Gutierrez is absent. Commissioner Kelly Nobles?
Here.
Commissioner Carol Jones?
Here.
Commissioner Jennifer Cooper?
Here.
We have quorum.
Thank you. Let's rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now we'll move to approval of the minutes. Do we have any discussion about the minutes? I do have a comment. We briefly touched on it. The September minutes reflect that Chair Kelly Knowles opened the meeting at 6:38. The October minutes just say that it was open. So Nancy and I were talking, she's gonna check to make sure that we should indicate, in case it's not me, or just for the purposes of the proper record, when the meeting's opened and who opened it. Sort of just leaving it vague. And then the other thing, that we might want to mention, she's gonna look into is, whenever we have new business, she always does a good job of talking about if the applicant spoke, and if there's some other things, when we read the opening statement and the order of hearing, we talk about, does anybody have a conflict? Is there anybody out there that doesn't think we have the authority? And if we don't make reference to those things in the minutes, then it's like it didn't, if there was a rumor field. So she's gonna see if we make just some sort of general statement, not everything, but about maybe the public opening statement was read and the meeting was opened. And that way it indicates that we did get along. So she's gonna see about putting those things up there. So when we approve the minutes, we want to approve those amendments.
Or the minutes can be tabled to be approved for the next planning commission meeting, at which time both meeting minutes can be approved.
So we just approve those amendments.
And you can, but you don't know what you're approving yet.
Okay.
So I would say tabling them for the next month's meeting in that case. That way we can go over what amendments were made and from then on out, what they're gonna look like. You can, for them to be tabled for the next meeting, you can.
We table approving the minutes from October 28th, 2025 until the next planning commission.
Jones.
Roll call.
Commissioner Puerta,
I agree.
Commissioner Jones,
Me.
Commissioner Cooper.
Aye.
Voting 3-0, the motion passes.
Thank you. Under new business, UEC conditional use CU-5-15. Ladies and gentlemen, I call this hearing of the Umatilla Planning Commission to order. A sign-up list is available for those who wish to testify. A person must testify either orally or in writing in order to be considered a party to this decision and have the opportunity to appeal. Copies of the applicable criteria are available for staff. The Planning Commission must base its decision on these criteria. Testimony and evidence must be directed towards these criteria or other criteria in the plan or land use regulations believed to be applicable to the decision. Failure to raise an issue with statements or evidence sufficient to afford us or other interested parties an opportunity to respond to that issue may preclude appeal to the Land Use Board of Appeals on that issue. If new information is presented at the hearing, you may request a continuance to allow additional time to respond. You may also request that the record remain open. The request must be made while the record is still open. Procedures for the hearing in the order of presentations are as follows. Staff will summarize the application. The applicant may present testimony. Public testimony in favor of the application. Public testimony in opposition of the application. Neutral testimony. Rebuttal testimony from the applicant. The record closes. Deliberation. The Planning Commission vote and decision. This concludes the introduction. We will begin with the first order of business on tonight's agenda. Would you staff please so?
Yes, thank you, Commission Chair Nobles. So today I'm presenting UEC's conditional use and site plan review. And they have presented an application for a new substation. This is in our heavy industrial zone. This is,
Nancy?
Yes.
I'm sorry, but I omitted the part where the conflicts. I should have done that before. Let me go ahead and do that real quick.
okay, go right ahead.
Thank you. Is there a challenge to the jurisdiction of the Umatilla Planning Commission to hear on this matter? If so, please state the challenge at this time. Are there any conflicts of interest or personal bias to be declared by a commissional member? If so, please state the bias or conflict at this time. Has there been any ex parte contacts regarding the upcoming matter that a commission member needs to declare? If so, please state the ex parte contacts at this time. Okay, there's no declaration, so at this time, this is staff report. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Commissioner Chair Nobles. So this application is for a conditional use and site plan review for UEC for a substation in the heavy industrial zone. This is a pretty straightforward application. And if you've had time to look over the report, the findings, you can see that there's various factors to this application. This is considered a community service use. And community service uses are processed as conditional uses. There's also a site plan review component to this application. And the good thing about, or I shouldn't say the good thing, the easier process of this application is that it is not abutting any residential zones. So that has made the process of this report easier on my part. And in looking into this application, this is not the first time I've seen substations being built next to data centers, and it's pretty common, and it makes sense in the zone. And substations are typically allowable uses in the heavy industrial zone, and that's typically where we want to see them, correct? Away from the residential uses, away from children, away from playgrounds. We want them in those heavy industrial zones. The application is pretty straightforward. Again, as I said before, it's been great working with the applicant, and this time I've been working with Brandon. As everybody has known, Brandon worked at some point, well, for many years with the city of Umatilla and is now working for UEC. And this process has been pleasant. I'll say pleasant. It's been a pleasant process, and I think there's a lot of growth here in Umatilla, and seeing data centers come to the city and seeing the growth that it brings to Umatilla is great. And I'm hoping that not just in this sense and with the data centers, but I'm hoping that the growth here in Umatilla continues, and that our community continues to see more development and in those correct zones, because that's what we want to see, right? Instead of seeing difficulty in variances, sometimes it makes my job easier. Of course, it makes it easy when it's in the right zone. And it's a straightforward application, and it's the right use, and it's in the right zone, and the code is just followed. That makes my job easier. Although sometimes the applications don't work that way, and it's my job to understand the applicant and the process and how we have to work around it. This time this wasn't the case, and it was a little bit easier. And they seem to meet the code and in every sense, or are able to meet the code. And what we are looking at right now is the planning portion. We're not looking at the structure or the building quite yet. So we're just looking at that first step, the planning. And that's something that can be done. And we have added a few conditions of approval, but they're pretty basic conditions. Conditions that can be met easily by the applicant, and conditions that have been added to other applications in a general sense. So it's not just catered to this application specifically. There are very generalized conditions that applications of this sort must meet. So if any of the commissioners have any questions, please let me know so I can answer them. And we do have the applicant present, or representative of the applicant, that will be presenting today. So also the commissioners, if you'd like to wait for the presentation and ask questions then that will work as well.
So in summary, staff recommends that we approve.
Correct. Staff recommendation is approved.
Does the applicant wish to present us?
I think you can use a cordless. Is the other one off? Okay, perfect.
Way easier.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, members of the planning commission.
you want to use this one?
I remember having mic problem.
Should feel right at home.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the Planning Commission. My name is Brandon Sykes. I am the Land Use Administrator at Umatilla Electric, and my work address is 750 West Elm Ave, Hermiston, Oregon. Following up on the staff report, this is a request for a conditional use and site plan approval for a new substation located in the Port Industrial Park. It is located next to an existing data center site as well as the now constructed 230 kV Wanapa transmission line. One of the just relevant notes for this group is that because it's located directly adjacent to the now constructed new transmission line, we will not have to install any new transmission poles. That transmission line was designed and constructed so we can tap straight into it to be able to serve this substation. We'll have to put a couple of new arms on the pole, but there will be no modifications or no new structures that will need to be installed to be able to serve this application or this substation, excuse me. Just a couple of notes that were in the staff report, and I very much agree with the staff report and findings as presented. Unique to this property, it is kind of a flag lot, so it's a very narrow lot up where it connects on the Wanapa Road. That's important mainly for the landscaping requirements that you typically see. It's only a 30-foot wide access point, which will be where the new access to the substation is coming in. Comes all the way down to the south end of the data center site. The only existing structure is also located within the secure substation yard. So typically in the code, you only see requirements for landscaping along street frontages or building frontages because really the entire street frontage will be taken up by the new approach. And the control building will be the only structure built, which is in the substation yard itself. We feel that those requirements for landscaping are not applicable. Just generally speaking, National Electrical Safety Code does not like to see vegetation within inside a substation yard. And then, as I mentioned, the access is just fairly tight, so it doesn't really make sense to put landscaping out on the street itself. The other one I would just highlight is typically you get in design requirements for new structures. Again, because it's a secured facility being the control building within the substation yard itself, it doesn't really make sense to have windows and, a lot of the other design features that we might like to see on commercial or other types of buildings. So we felt that those requirements were also not applicable to this request, which is how it's addressed in the staff report. Outside of it, it will look like many of the other UEC substations that have already been constructed in town. But I'm certainly happy to answer any questions that you all may have.
So Brandon, does this size of this substation characteristically represent one campus or 4 data centers?
So typically we don't necessarily size anything off the direct, so it is to serve both future and, well, I guess proposed as well as future capacity. So not only does it serve some of the proposed development on adjacent properties, but it also provides redundancy back into the rest of our system. So in the event that we had a failure at one substation, we'd still be able to provide power, not only to this site, but really the region in large, which is why those substations are constructed the way they are.
Well, and that was kind of my second question is this going to be a proposed project already, but you just answered.
Yeah, so we'll see a proposed project, and then, like I said, it also provides redundancy back into the rest of the system. So in the event that there was a issue with a different substation, we'd be able to provide power to the rest of the system and keep everybody else's power on as well.
Any other questions? Thank you. Is there any public testimony in favor of the application? Is there any public testimony in opposition of the application? Is there any usual testimony? I guess there'll be no rebuttal testimony from the applicant.
Unless you all have more questions.
Hearing,
Close.
yes.
Close the record and begin deliberation. We need a motion to close the record?
Correct. Jones,
I make a motion to close the record.
Okay.
I second.
Commissioner Huerta,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Cooper.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Now it's a time for deliberation. Anybody have anything? If there,
I think it's pretty straightforward.
then it would be planning commission vote and decision if we have a motion.
It's a good practice.
You make a motion.
And then you say as presented.
I motion we approve UEC conditional use as presented.
I second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Porta,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Cooper.
Aye.
The motion passes.
Thank you, Brandon. We appreciate you joining us.
Perfect. Now, yes.
So, this is the point where we can have some commissioner, discussion, or is there any additional information from the staff?
I don't have anything for staff. I just like to share that although this year or today we changed our date for the December, I was informed that the city council actually decides the dates for the planning commission meeting. So typically in December, there will not be a planning commission meeting. So just want to let the planning commission know. Coming into January, I would like to kind of set a little bit of guidelines for commissioners, so you're aware. So it's kind of a reminder, you know, just something a guide that you can look back at. That's let's put it into layman terms, right? Let's make it a little simpler as we also take trainings this next year and plan ahead and really understand what we're looking at, because like I've shared previously, we're making decisions based on the code. What does the code tell us? Not on our feelings or emotions or what we'd like to see or what we think would work. We are going based on what the code tells us, correct? And a lot of that also goes into play with ethics and what our duties entail. And as far as my job goes, I want to give you all the tools that you need to be able to do your jobs effectively. And any questions you have, please feel free to call me. And if you want to set up a time and date for us to get together and go over anything, or if you get a packet and you have a specific question or would like to go over that packet days before, please let me know. And I am working my hardest to make sure you have your packets ahead of time so you can look over those documents and set up those appointments so that if you do have questions, I can help you understand. Because I can understand how it's a lot of information all at once. And when you don't see something every day or don't work specifically in planning, it's a whole lot of information to receive in one packet. So, and I am more than happy to help each and every one of you. And then we're all locals, right? So we all at some point are gonna need help in planning. And I've seen each one of you with a question, right? Some sort of question, some sort of help, and I am more than happy to guide each and every one, not just you, every single community member in any way I can. And if anybody has any questions, feel free, send them to me, give them my email, give them my number, my extension, and I am more than happy to help. And I will be gone for the next 2 weeks, but send me an email, and as soon as I see those emails, I will gladly respond. Okay.
Appreciate that. You've been very good
course.
about making us feel in very good.
course.
about it.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much. Hey,
course.
Zach, we haven't thanked you for joining us either. Did you have any comments or discussion items, Zach, or? No?
Just appreciate, well, I'm in dad mode tonight as well, but being able to join the meeting virtually. Just a couple of things. We are kicking off a housing capacity analysis, which is similar to the employment opportunities or economic opportunities analysis that we did earlier this year. So we will be looking for heavy planning commission involvement in the housing capacity analysis portion of that. We had a kickoff meeting or just like a little scoping meeting with our consultant yesterday. But I expect by the January meeting at the end of January, we'll have a few more details on what that looks like and what that will look like for planning commission as well. Next on that list of just the general announcements and things like that, City Council is still working on filling the final position for planning commission. Hopefully by the January meeting, we'll have someone to fill position 7. After which we'll invite Commissioner Puerta and the new member in for formal orientation here at City Hall. So work out those details when we get them. And if there's any additional members of the Planning Commission that want to have a little orientation or a little refresher, that's always, the invitation's always open for that as well. And then, yeah, as I've said in previous meetings, we'll be looking for additional training opportunities, whether it's in the chambers, during a light meeting, you know, just a quick training, or if we do see some opportunities out there through League of Oregon Cities or Oregon APA as well, we'll keep that on the radar and let every commissioner know. So unless there's any questions, that's all the announcements and discussion I have for this evening.
That's great. Thank you, Zach. We sure appreciate what you're doing. Thank you very much. At this point, all we have left is Brandon's presentation for discussion items. You usually have a presentation for that. Did you come prepared? No? If there's no other discussion items, do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Aye.
Oh, wait, who, I second.
I second.
Okay. Commissioner Puerta,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Cooper.
Aye.
Motion passes. Meeting is adjourned, 6:58.